If you're not willing to sacrifice certain things to achieve a simple life, you're not willing to go through this list of sacrifices, then a simple life isn't for you. So sacrifice number one, you must watch this video in full, because if you don't have the time to do that, that's bullshit. If you don't have the time to improve your life, then you don't deserve a simple and fulfilling life. Period. You should have the time. Just stop fucking watching Netflix for 1 hour and watch this video. Next thing to sacrifice, you must sacrifice the fast-paced lifestyle. No more going out with friends, every other day or so. No more drinking, no more partying, until you get so drunk that you black out. No more spending on useless stuff. No more fast cars, luxury items, big houses. None of that. No more of that. No more obsessing over drugs. No more, chasing after success. No more competing against others. You must also sacrifice having a high-paying, stressful, glamorous job. So maybe becoming a lawyer, that's incredibly work intensive and also very stressful. Maybe you have to let go of that. You have to maybe let go of becoming a doctor if you did it for the money, or letting go of these high-level corporate jobs that are paying well but are not fulfilling you. You must let go of your need of ever becoming popular and ever becoming famous or well-known. Next thing, you must be willing to be extremely humble, and if you need to, have a very simple, humble job. So for example, me, I lived my life going through part-time jobs that were not glamorous, but they were very simple. I worked at call center jobs, so I never really had this high-paying, successful 9-to-5 job. My girlfriend also recently, for example, she just got a job at an ice cream shop. And it's not glamorous, of course, and it's very simple. But it's very simple, and it's quite fulfilling. It's very easy. She has a lot of free time. During her job, she can even, she can draw on her tablet because there's no customers, or she just watches, inspiring shows, or whatever she does, whatever she wants. So you need to be extremely humble and be willing to go through the social pressure of working at an ice cream shop while all your friends are, going out there becoming lawyers, doctors, and engineers. Can you stomach that? Because if you can't, then you won't make it. Next thing, you need to sacrifice everything in order to live up to your life's purpose. The next thing you have to sacrifice, which might be a shocker to some of you, but you may need to sacrifice being below average in terms of career development. Now, this is on a case-to-case basis, and unless your life purpose is about your career, but then you may need to sacrifice your career in order to live a simpler life. For example, think of, farmers or off-gridders, people who live, on their own, without they sort of fend for themselves. They fish, they make their own food, they cook their own food, whatever thing, and that's how they live. Think of people who lived in the 1500s or 1700s. That had those long extended families, and they lived very simple lives. You must also be willing to stand out from the rest of society and give up ever joining the rat race ever again. You rebel. You decide that you will not engage in this sort of hamster in a wheel mindset of just grinding yourself to death, trying to achieve as much success as you can in your career and your job or whatever, just to catch up to the Joneses or to your friends or to whoever you think is ahead of you. In fact, you must give up the idea that you'll ever be ahead of other people. Let go of the idea of being ahead or of not falling behind. These concepts will need to die entirely. In fact, you rebel and you decide to live a simple life. When other people are going out doing whatever thing with their life, you decide to live your simple life and live up to your vision regardless of what other people are trying to achieve. In fact, talking about, falling behind in life and all that, I already have friends right now that are engineers, or some of my friends have already, gotten PhDs and all that, but I don't want to get to that level. I realize I don't want to achieve those things in my, job, career development. I don't care. So I'm not going to do these things. I'm going to live this life simply. To live a simple life, a more simpler life, you have to sacrifice all mindless activities or bring them to a minimum. or, within reason. So this goes for social media, excessive video games, excessive, entertainment. These are the things you have to let go of. Now, this is paradoxical because at the beginning of the video, I told you have more time to do whatever you want, including entertainment. But the difference is that you do these entertainment activities mindfully, right? You don't just mindlessly do these things because you have nothing to do and you want to escape from your miserable life. So this is a more nuanced point here. So the emphasis here is on mindless. You will have to stop doing mindless activity. To live a more simple life, you must also be willing to spend a lot of time alone. Now, this is hard if you are an extrovert. If you need a lot of friends, you need always to be around people, then this is not for you. But a simpler life means less people in your life, more time with yourself, which means that you must also be willing to sacrifice friends. When I was in college, I had 50, 60 plus friends that I was, seeing quite often. I was actually maintaining this circle because I was crazy enough to maintain it and talk to all those people. But then I decided to cut it all down, to have less friends, to be, just sort of like to have this simple life. You have to cut away all the toxic friends. You must also be willing to have the tough conversations, sometimes to cut away the friends that are not bringing you happiness. To live a simpler life, you must commit also to never committing ever again to obsessing over work. Never obsess over work ever again, and never buy into this idea of becoming a workaholic and working your ass off until you die. You must be willing, if you want to live a simple life, you must be willing to have so much free time in your schedule and have your schedule so open that people will judge you as lazy or slacking off. So I remember when I was working at this bank, as a financial advisor and collections agent, people were asking me, hey, so why are you not full-time? I see you're part-time, you're not studying, why are you not full-time? And I had to explain them that, I decided to live this life very simply, that I don't buy into the 9-to-5 lifestyle. In fact, in this strange way, everyone in my job, they bought into this idea that you must go to school, must get this job, must become successful in life, and this sort of idea of success that I just did not relate to at all. And I decided to stand my ground and do these things. And I remember I was eating at the cafeteria with all those my coworkers that were all talking about their school, all talking about their degrees, all talking about what they wanted to do with their career. They were just obsessed with school and their careers, and I did not relate to it at all. In fact, I didn't care. I remember I had this conversation with this girl. She was saying, oh yeah, I want to become an entrepreneur, so I study business, and there's this entrepreneurship school, so I want to do that entrepreneurship program. And I just straight up told her, you don't need an entrepreneurship program to become an entrepreneur. and she got pissed off at me, and she sort of, anyway, but it's this sort of idea, right? You have to be willing to be the black sheep in a sense. So don't buy into all of these ideas of society. To be able to live a simple and happy life, you must be willing to accept the fact that maybe you'll achieve nothing in your life, but you'll still be happy regardless. Can you contemplate this idea? Can you even fathom this idea? That maybe you live a life and that you don't achieve anything. Maybe you don't get this big job. Maybe you don't even achieve your life purpose. Maybe you do nothing. Maybe all you do is meditate and be a monk. That's what most monks do, right? They just meditate. That's pretty much it. That's their life. Could you contemplate a life like this where you achieve nothing and you're still happy? Now, this is incredibly hard, for most people, I believe. Even me, this idea makes me a bit scared because I don't think I'd be able to do that. But can you even contemplate this idea that there's a possibility in life that you can be happy without achieving anything? Like, can you fathom this idea? Because if you can't, then maybe a simple life isn't for you, because a simple life is actually stripping away the things so that you achieve less in a strange way. But one thing you do achieve, beyond others and beyond what everyone else's wildest dreams, is peace of mind and fulfillment. These are the two things you'll achieve that no one else on the planet will achieve to your extent. To live a simpler life, you must also be willing to allow chaos to happen around you. Little things, little shit to pile up, and you just be okay with it. For example, because you live a more simple life, maybe your inbox will get full and there'll be a lot of unread emails. Maybe because you live a simple life that your parents or whatever, they'll start putting expectations on you. Hey, why are you not studying? Why are you not at this job? Why are you not growing yourself? Whatever. And then you decide to continue living a simple life. You allow the chaos to gather around you. Maybe some people, they invite you to parties, or like some friends or extended friends, they invite you to things and you say no, or you don't reply to them at all. And then maybe they get mad or they get hurt that you didn't reply to their message. So that might happen. So you start saying no to these activities and you start allowing chaos to happen around you, but you keep your peace of mind. So this is a paradoxical point where I was telling you, simple life means less chaos, more simplicity, more happiness. And now I'm telling you to be okay with chaos. Well, yes, you have to be okay with you have to let the little things pile up as long as the big things aren't an issue. So the big things like your life purpose, your relationship and all that, these are the main goals. To live a simple life, you must commit to living like a philosopher, like a monk, like a sage, like a farmer, like someone who lives simply.